Hi, I'm Jade Adam Granger, or you can call me Bio from For Honor, and I'm a game mode designer on the PvP. So the potential for esport in For Honor, I think, is clearly there. I really like esport, and I would like it to become one, but it's the community that has it in its hands for sure. We cannot decide if it's going to be an esport or not, but what we want to do is support the direction the community will go. So if they find a mode that they really like and they want to do tournaments about that or cast it, we will support the community definitely, because that's really what we want to do. It's go at the same direction that our player will go. So when I designed the different modes, the 5 modes, I always took care about first fairness and balance. It's extremely important for me that it's balanced, but also depth. I want to have a mode that's approachable for everyone. The basic rules are simple, but there's always ways to differentiate yourself if you are an extremely skilled player. Not only in the fight, but in the way you're going to play the mode, the scoring system, the way that you can use the map at your advantage. It's always things that I cared about deeply so that a very skilled player can shine enormously. For me, this is how we create an esport. It's with depth and not only with caster modes and everything. It's really designing a mode that's crafted for players to show their best and to shine. The genre of For Honor is very hard. It's a completely new mechanic, the Heart of Battle. We call it a melee action game, but the PvP aspect is very competitive in its nature. It's a skill-based game. There's nothing left to chances anywhere, and it's really up to you how you will handle yourself and fight. So for us, it's hard to find a genre. I hope people will help us in that because it's not easy. But let's say multiplayer melee action game for now. Well, the depth, I find it in different ways in different modes. Example, in the minion mode that player can play right now, there's a lot of ways to generate points, but there's always an optimal way at that specific moment. You need good coordination with your team to be able to maximize the amount of points you will generate while not giving too much. Each hero is very different, so each assassin is very different from each other, and they have specialties, and they will shine more on some maps than others, and some circumstances and some composition. When I create a team with my friends, I always strive to have something a little bit balanced, to be able to defend zones, to be able to clear soldiers, to be able to do duels. But the most important part is to have a team that can cooperate with each other. If you choose a composition that's well balanced and you don't play with each other, it will be meaningless. However, depending on the mode and depending on the map, I can foresee that people will have different composition that will be best and optimized. Some heroes are better in narrow corridors, some are better in wide areas, some are very good to throw enemy down bridges or in fire. So the map will dictate a lot the composition player will do, because the maps are very different from one another. It's not just aesthetic changes, the geometry is also different. I don't know if the meta will be as structured as a game like League of Legends. I'm not sure it will be the case, maybe, but maybe it will be. But I think it will be more fluid in For Honor, because the focus is more about the fighting than how you handle the game as a whole and the map as a strategy game. There's a lot of tactics, but there's not as much strategy in For Honor. It's really about the fight. In the end, it boils down to that and how you fight well or not. So for most players that want to be competitive, not necessarily at the professional level, I can tell you, pick the hero that you're the best to fight with. The trick with that game is that it was a new mechanic. So we had to find modes that would make it shine. So I tried lots of them. We had prototypes that failed miserably. some that were promising, some that came out as actual modes. So really finding the fun and finding how melee combat works in a game that we wanted to have fast pace. You know, it's not a slow paced game where you fight. It's really fast and visceral and intense. So finding a way that that melee works with that was not easy because I had all those shooters as references, but the fact that you have to actually walk to your target changes the pace immensely, and the way that we did maps also. So the challenge was really that, to find what's fun and what mode works. I think we achieved that, I hope.